Hey kids, you trying to get into Segment City? Well, you really shouldn't, because Segment City is a mature podcast, and listener discretion is advised. I'm just trying to look at... I know I'm in an alleyway. I know how I look, but I got some fireworks for you kids. I got snakes and I got sparklers. That's all I got. Oh, don't give me that. Hello and welcome to the 2019 Masters Tournament. So, it looks like Tiger Woods just won. He's taking the podium now and he's yelling, I won, I won. I can't believe I've won. He seems to be taking a
bit melodramatic, don't you think? It seems
he's
a little off the cuff,
he's
if you will.
He's spraying champagne on his competitors.
Oh, it's oddly sexual.
Schoffel is not liking it, and now they're getting in an argument, and oh my god, Tiger Woods just bludgeoned his face in.
Oh my gosh, he seems to have a big smile on his face.
I am the master, I just won the tournament. Wow. The police don't know what to do.
Wow.
They can't touch him. He just won the Masters tournament.
They can't touch him. He's the master.
He said, I'm a god now. I won
and
the Masters tournament.
They can't tell him no. That's as far as they can go. They can't get any closer than that.
Bystanders are running. He got into a car and is now running over pedestrians. Wow. Tiger Woods is going off.
Oh, and he's in his car and he just passed a sign that says, Welcome to Segment City.
Yes. Welcome
and there it is.
There it is. Welcome to Segment City, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Will Kane.
And I'm Theo.
And this is our podcast. Welcome to Segment City. If you're here on this episode, you probably listened to the other ones, but
hopefully
you know what's happening. But let's give you
we hope you did.
the skinny on this podcast. Both Theo and I present segments to each other. We sometimes don't know what the segments are. And we just try to make people laugh. It's a comedy podcast. Welcome to our comedy podcast. Now, normally we start with Will's stupid thoughts, but Theo, I know you're very worked up about a thing. Immediate.
Yeah, I'm worked up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You could say I'm a bit upset.
You sound very worked up. You sound like you're just furious right now.
Ladies and gents.
Uh-huh.
You may not follow the world of video games, but Will and I do pretty closely. And a new piece of news came out this week about a game called Persona 5S.
Oh my god.
Now, everyone assumed that the S stood for Switch, Nintendo Switch, which was only logical because everyone's been asking for it. Joker, the main character, is in Smash Brothers. Everybody thought, hey, Nintendo likes money. Atlus likes money. Mm-hmm. Let's give them what the people want and release this bad boy on Switch.
No, Theo, what did the people want?
The people just wanted Persona 5 Switch. That's what they thought the S was standing for. And guess what it stood for? Scramble. It was P5 Scramble.
I didn't even know it meant scramble.
It was
I thought
Scramble.
It was just S.
So it's not what the people want. It's
mean?
a Dynasty Warriors style game.
It's Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Honestly, it's Dynasty Warriors. I would play that game.
It's the show version of Dynasty Warriors is Duck Dynasty basically, but it's Wario.
Wow.
That's
I would
no
maybe
response to that joke. All right.
Well, I'm just too upset. Too upset.
You sound very upset. Tell me more about this game, this Dynasty Warriors
So they
game.
released the trailer for it, which is all in Japanese, and they showed some gameplay, which was just awful. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's not going to do well.
Hey, audience, who's bought a Dynasty Warriors game in the last 10 years?
Not this guy.
They did a Zelda one. I think that was fairly successful.
Well, people liked it because of the Zelda tie-in, but
yeah, but how many? Okay, now I gotta Google how many Dynasty Warriors there were.
Probably many, but that all being put aside, despite how many there have been made and how many that have sold, this is not what people are asking for. Nintendo could really just make money just by putting out a game that already exists on the Nintendo Switch. Now, I don't know what kind of contracts exist between Atlus and Sony and, Persona games are pretty much exclusively put out on PlayStation platforms, but I feel like it was coming. I feel like it was something that was obvious to everyone. And they said no.
I think it got up to 9. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors 9, 2018.
Yikes.
They got up to 9.
Yikes, my dude.
I haven't played the Dynasty Warriors since maybe middle school, elementary school.
Yeah, let's leave it that way. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing though. I would very much love Persona 5.
Yeah.
But it's also a question of who is this for? It's not for us. We're not the kind of people that would...
No, but okay, I think that I'm justified because the internet at large is outraged at this. So I think I'm okay in being upset about this.
I'm going to play devil's advocate.
I don't like it.
They never promised that they would do it for Switch.
No.
They just said, hey, by the way,
yes,
we're making a thing
flip
called
side, consumers didn't promise them their money. So, like,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
It seems if...
I'm someone who played and beat Persona 5, all 100 hours of it.
Ooh.
And I would play and beat it again if it was on Switch. I loved it. It was a great game, and I would totally play it again.
I'm going to draw some parallels right now.
Here we go.
To Blizzard's announcement of Diablo Mobile or whatever. Because it's...
I don't know if it's comparable, because mobile is pretty universally hated as a platform.
Dynasty Warriors is it's pretty universally hated as a platform of gaming because it's just attacking waves of enemies and it's dumb.
Wasn't there a Gundam Dynasty Warriors?
Probably, yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was, and people actually kind of liked that game.
Folks, I think I might have owned it too.
Apparently that's a not that bad one, but it fits the IP pretty well, so...
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
One Gundam versus like all these waves of like minions. Like, yeah, that feels fine.
Yeah, there are certain, but Persona isn't known for like.
No,
I don't
not
think
what Persona is at all. No,
even
it's not.
Zelda. It's like I think of Zelda, I think of duels.
Right.
Like that was the whole
doesn't fit. You can't just slot it in. Yeah.
So it just doesn't. I think Star Wars would maybe work. What other Lord of the Rings? They actually did.
Lord of the Rings.
They did a Battlefront kind of thing with Lord of the Rings called like Conquest or something, and that kind of worked.
That's the game I do.
No.
Anyways.
But I think it is similar to the Diablo thing because except it's probably worse because it's Diablo. Everyone was expecting Diablo 4 because they're like, hey everyone, Diablo news, it's coming, EpilusCon, and everyone's like, oh, they're gonna announce what? And then they're like, mobile, and it's like, oh, don't do that here. You're not going to do that.
Yeah, that feels really bad.
It's not going to be good for you. Why did you not think this out? And this is a similar thing of like, they didn't technically promise the thing. Like they didn't say, hey, Diablo 4, it's coming. But it's also like nobody really wanted. It was like you dangled the thing people wanted and everyone was like, it's that thing. And then it's like, it's not that thing.
It's not that thing. No, it's not that thing at all. So that was my moment of being upset this week when I realized that I had been baited into thinking that I got something I wanted, and then they were like, nope.
The world is cruel. Cruel to Theo. I tried to think of something that I was worked up about to contribute.
I'm sure you'll find something. I texted you about this the moment it happened, and I was like, I am upset.
This is a segment. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Okay.
All right. So now that the upsetness is out of the way. So this is our segment called Will's Stupid Thoughts.
Here we go.
Will's Shower Thoughts. Now, Theo, here's my thought for the week. What kind of technology did Olive Garden invent/unearth/conjure that allows them to produce unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks?
They must have found a... Okay, here's my theory.
Okay, there's already a theory.
There's a Pandora's box
of soup, salad, and breadsticks.
Of just breadsticks. I don't care about the soup or the salad, but the breadsticks, it's a Pandora's box and you open it up and you pull out a breadstick and there's just another.
Are you saying that they faked the soup and salad?
The soup and salad is not actually unlimited. That is just produce produced in California and shipped all over the country.
They told me unlimited.
Yeah.
What if you tried to take advantage of that?
I think there probably is. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna do a Google. We're gonna do a Google here.
All right, I'm gonna vamp while you Google.
We're gonna Google the limits to which you can use. Okay. What is it?
They have an unlimited card.
Unlimited limit. Okay, here we go. Quora.com. Is there really a limit on how many breadsticks?
I didn't do any research into this.
Here we go. Two answers. One from Stacy. Thank you, Stacy, who is a former server at an Olive Garden Italian restaurant. Uh-huh. There's a limit to how many the server is supposed to bring out at a time, depending on how many people are at the table.
At a time, though.
It should be one person at the table plus one. It should be one per person at the table plus one. So if there are three people sitting at the table, they bring out four, which seems cruel.
It is, because you gotta break it up.
Because when you get to that fourth one, everyone's looking around like, I want that breadstick.
Who's gonna get that? And then they're like, I think breadstick.
So then
Bradley
she says, after the first round, the plus one goes away and it's only one per person each round.
Oh.
If you're dining in, you can continue to get as many rounds as you want.
They're gonna run out though, right?
Wow.
Can you just camp out at an Olive Garden? I don't know why you'd want to, but could you? That's the question. I have a theory.
Could you? I bet you could.
Hey everyone, I have a theory. They brought back Jesus.
Whoa.
They have a lot of duplication.
It's the blood. It's the body of Christ. The bread is the body of Christ.
He did duplicate all that bread and fish.
Wow.
They brought him back specifically to work at Olive Garden.
And Jesus was like, "Hey, I can also get you unlimited wine." And they were like, "Okay, Jesus, we don't need that in our restaurant.
I don't think we want.
This is a family business.
I don't think we want Karen and her family to get crunk on Jesus.
I want to speak to your manager.
This is not a limited. My son Derek really wanted more breadsticks. He threw all our breadsticks on the ground, and now we need more.
What if someone got drunk and asked to speak to the manager, and Jesus came out to speak to them?
How disenfranchised he's like, I died for this shit for Olive Garden, and he's wearing the apron, or no, he has a tie because he's the manager.
He's Mr. Manager,
and he's just like, hello,
I'm Mr. Christ, the manager.
Can I help you, miss? Can I help you, Karen? She's like, how did you know my whatever?
Whatever.
I need to complain about the soup salad and breadsticks. Now my son Derek.
I've eaten a shitload, and it's not enough. Okay?
Is this bread gluten free? I don't think it is.
I specifically asked for it not to be gluten-free, but I have a gluten allergy. I'm going to sue you.
Oh, my. You're going to sue all of
the garden?
Ma'am, you're at the Olive Garden at Times Square. You have no rights here.
It is a wild west here.
This is the equivalent of international waters. You can't. There are no laws in this.
Specifically, the Times Square one. Yeah, it's a pocket of lawlessness.
Yeah, it's like an old saloon in a cartoon. People
like
bottles
all
of
the
red
scumbags from all over the city are like, meet me at the Olive Garden at midnight.
They have a trough of soup because people keep dumping hot soup on each other. Like, and everyone's like, and they're like, keep putting it out. And people are
keep like sharpening breadsticks into shivs and stabbing each other.
They're lawless, and they're just like, another red wine. They're like, we don't have that here.
We don't have any of that.
And they're like, oh, give me some salad.
Oh God,
unlimited salad.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like...
I feel like no one's ever going to test the limit of that one. If you're offered unlimited salad or unlimited breadsticks, you don't care about the salad. You're not going to eat that salad. You're going to eat the breadsticks.
Hey, pretty genius of Olive Garden, though. Every other thing uses breadsticks to fill up your belly before the meal.
Olive Garden actually only has like one salad, like one really old salad sitting in like the back of their fridge, and no one's ever asked for it.
It's more expensive than this cheap ass frozen bread that we get. They don't have.
Everyone's like, yeah, I know we get unlimited salad, but more breadsticks.
All they have is pasta, bread, salad, and soup.
Yep.
The cheapest things you can buy.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Hey, everyone, Olive Garden won. I know we call it like fake Italian food. They fucking won.
This segment brought to you by Olive Garden.
Hey,
thanks, Olive Garden.
You want to hear a not so fun fact?
Yeah, let's do it.
I usually these dumb thoughts I'll text to people in the middle of the day when I think of them.
In the middle of the night.
Both the people I texted about this said, I'm like, hey, where do you think they get all that unlimited soup salad breadsticks? Expecting like a funny thing, and people were like, from the forced labor of their employees through.
You know what? Well, this is why
like,
those other people who you text aren't on the podcast because they're not willing to play in the playground.
They're Debbie Downers.
They're
Debbie and Daniel Downer.
The Downer family.
The Downer family. I don't know why I text them all the time.
Yeah, and their daughter Deborah.
Deborah Downer.
Deborah Jr.
Have you ever met a Deborah that is
not a Downer?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, sorry to all the Deborahs out
there. Hey, Deborah, you're great, Deborah, but lighten up.
You lighten up a little bit, Deborah.
Deborah,
you're just a little bit down on me.
Yeah.
Do you have a segment, or do you want me to do
I do have a segment. And I have a segment that... I got a sort of a short one for you.
Yeah, let's do two short ones, and then we're going to do our big one.
All right, so I got a short one for you. I hope this one is a recurring one.
Okay. This is a new one?
This is a new one. Maybe possibly recurring one. Well, I have for you, I found a villain of a superhero, and I want to give you a short backstory to this, just to fill it in. Okay.
This is like the Power Rangers one, but like you're piecemeal.
But metered it out, yeah. So it's going to be just a different villain of a superhero. So this week I've brought for you a villain of Spider-Man.
Oh.
This villain's name? Big Wheel.
I knew it was Big Wheel. Big Wheel's my favorite.
How do you know about Big Wheel already? I thought I would stump you with this one.
I do. Of course I know about Big Wheel.
Do you know Big Wheel's backstory?
No.
Okay.
I just know Big Wheel.
I can provide you a little bit of backstory on someone who you obviously already know about.
Famous Big Wheel. He's this
big number one. Oh, you're wearing a number one Big Wheel fan shirt. Shoot.
Yeah.
I should have known.
He's going to defeat Thanos.
Oh.
He's going to be... What are we going to do?
I'm going to snap again. And no, you're not.
He breaks his fingers with his big wheel, his big old wheel.
He's going to run over his hands with his big old wheel.
Does he just have a unicycle?
Okay, so Big Wheel.
Yes.
His original name, Jackson Wheel. They weren't really trying on that one. They weren't trying on that one. He's a businessman who has embezzled money from his company. Fearing that he might be caught, he hires a youthful criminal, Rocket Racer, to steal the evidence that incriminates him.
He hired a child named Rocket Racer.
Rocket Racer, yep.
It's me. What do you want me to do, Mr. Wheel? You want me to quit?
Okay, so however, Rocket Racer opts to use the evidence to blackmail Wheel rather than set him free with it.
I feel like this is some
So this is getting dark.
Yeah, this is getting
so
deep.
Despairing, Wheel then tries to commit suicide.
Oh my god!
But Rocket Racer prevents him.
Does he
from doing so? I guess he's like, you're not committing suicide while I have blackmail on you.
He's like, I did all this work for you to throw it away.
Oh no, you aren't.
No, you don't.
So Rocket Racer is not particularly kind to Wheel, disparaging, referring to him as Big Wheel.
That's not even Wait, is he big and fat?
I don't know. I don't think so. So humiliated by Rocket Racer's taunts, Wheel visited the mechanical genius and underworld supplier, the Tinkerer. The Tinkerer.
Really pulling out the big
who
guns.
The Rocket Racer boasted had upgraded his equipment. At Wheel's urging, the Tinkerer creates a large metal wheel that can climb up buildings, complete with guns and Waldo arms.
What is a Waldo arm?
I don't know. It's just an arm.
Hey, where are the Waldo arms?
A moment of silence.
I didn't edit that in, ladies and gentlemen. That was an actual silence.
Yikes. That's the best we can do on this podcast. If you're looking for better, go elsewhere. Yikes.
Tell me more about Big Wheel.
That is pretty much the origin story of Bill. And then he goes, he then tries to, with his big wheel, he then goes try to hunt down and kill Rocket Racer. And on his way to go try to fight Rocket Racer, he comes across Spider-Man, who's like, hey, wait a minute. You're not allowed to just go.
Didn't he suggest him to Tinkerer?
Yeah, he did. He was like,
hey,
hey, Rocket Racer, pro tip, don't give away all your pro suppliers.
Theo, this is like if I backstabbed you and then I was like, hey, I know a really good gun store. let me point you out to this gun store. They have really good guns that you can
see
kill
this
me
gun
with.
that I'm threatening you with? Here's where I got it, the street address. And now I'm going to let you go.
Really, yeah, and go get it. I give you a letter of recommendation. I have a coupon, really.
I have a coupon, really, just take it. I wasn't going to use it anyway.
I need to know if there was a point that Spider-Man was like, I got this, and then he shoots. I don't know why Spider-Man talks like that, but he
sounds like Green Goblin
at the wheel. you choose, Spider-Man.
Sleep.
He shoots a web at the wheel, and the wheel just like
spins it up.
Yeah, spins it up, and he goes, ah, fuck. What do I do?
In comic,
fuck. I don't know. He's like, I'm out of ideas. That's all.
I like that Big Wheel wasn't even after Spider-Man. He just found him incidentally, like, I'm gonna go kill Rocket Racer. And Spider-Man's like, wait a minute. You can't do that.
It's not even like the Incredible Hulk where he gets like so overwhelmed with anger that he's like, I'm gonna smash who's ever in my way. And he's literally after one dude.
He's like, I've had about enough.
Hey, I think as a society, let's just give Big Wheel a pass. Let him kill this fucking piece of shit.
Also, he's riding around on a big wheel. Like, how dangerous could he be?
He didn't do any other crime.
How dangerous could he really be?
He's running over. He's like, he's not dead. He backs up. He's going back and forth. He's not dead.
He's like, oh, please, just kill me. It hurts.
Hey, next character for Injustice.
Big Wheel.
Injustice 2. No, it's more of a Mortal Kombat character than I think about it. Imagine that fatality.
Ooh.
Where he crushes him with his big wheel.
Yeah, it's like lands on him and he's like...
he's He kills them.
That's our pitch. Another Realm, get on it. Big Wheel, DLC.
Big Wheel's not
it's what the
DLC
people.
character.
It's what the people want. It's also a Marvel character, so it's never gonna happen.
I want to bring this up. Also, did you see the trailer for Swamp Thing?
You sent it to me. Of course, I saw it.
They have a longer trailer where it's like a horror. It's a horror thing. It seems weird.
My main question is,
Swamp
who
Thing.
wants this?
We do.
I won't watch this, and
I'm
about as big an advocate as you can get for Swamp Thing, and I'm not going to watch this.
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. For context, ladies and gentlemen, Theo and I got really into Injustice 2, and Swamp Thing is a character in it, and we both fucking hate him.
Yeah, he's the worst.
He's the worst. He has a grab that goes all the way across the screen, and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it have to be at exactly the right distance.
And he has stupid moves like kicking a log that you can just combo. Like, it's the cheap move.
Yep.
Where he kicks a fucking log at your legs, and you get knocked over, and he just keeps doing it.
So this TV show.
Doing this. Yes.
That's on, like... Isn't it on, like, DC's exclusive streaming platform, too? Like, they're like, we gotta get the people going to our platform. We gotta, bolster our numbers.
Hey, DC, if you can't get us with fucking Young Justice, you're not gonna get us with Swamp Thing. The costume's pretty good, though. I gotta say.
Yeah, but
it would be way lamer.
Name one other person from the Swamp Thing universe that you know about. Yeah, that's a big ouch, huh?
Lady Swamp Thing. She just has a big bow. She's like Lady Miss Pac-Man.
You mean Swamp Thong?
I thought you were gonna say Swamp Thought.
Swamp Thong.
I love you. I love you too.
It's a Swamp Thing with boobs.
Please wash your underwear. You have Swamp Thong.
Oh, gross.
Ooh.
Honey, wash your dishes.
You
just left them in the mud.
Swamp Thought is pretty good.
Swamp Thought?
Swamp Thought.
Hey, honey, you want to come back to my swamp? No, that's my wife. Get out of here.
There's more than one. It's just what if every alive thing in that universe is a swamp thing? There's no people.
It's just all swamp?
It's Planet Swamp Thing.
He's the only character other than Shrek that can say, "Get out of me, swamp." Wait, that's what he says to them.
Okay.
People trying to get with Swamp Thought.
Rank people who can tell you to get out of their swamp in terms of how justified they are. I would say that Swamp Thing is more justified than Shrek to say, get out my swamp.
I think Swamp Thing can do more about people getting out of his swamp.
Right.
He's more powerful.
He also has more
claim.
Swamp. He has more claim to the swamp. Like, he sort of is the swamp.
Yeah, he is the swamp. Yeah. Whereas Shrek just lives on the swamp.
That's
Shrek
a mashup.
Doesn't have anything.
That's a mashup I want to see, because what if Shrek...
Ooh, fight!
What if Shrek was like, get out me swamp, and Swamp Thing was like, I am your swamp?
They say Marvel Cinematic Universe, greatest crossover in all of... No.
Swamp Cinematic Universe.
Swamp Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
Swamp Thing.
Yoda could be there.
Dagobah.
And
he's goofy Yoda. He's not even like, he's not like serious, like,
we need to train these bad. He's just like, yummy, yummy. He's like, I heard donkeys making waffles. Everybody likes a parfait.
And then Swamp Thing's like,
oh, stop it.
Swamp Thing versus lightsabers.
Swamp Thing versus lightsabers.
You could just cut off his arms.
Well, okay, so one of the things is there are Swamp Thing can summon other Swamp Things. So he could...
Could he have a party exclusively of Swamp Things?
Probably.
Like, he's like,
Batman, come to my party.
And then he tries to like...
all the ladies will be there. All the ladies.
And it's
just all him?
Yeah. He tries to... Like, nobody else came. Yeah. He's like, oh no.
This is a rager.
It's not a rager.
What, do you want to talk about the swamp?
Oh, God.
Dude, you need to get out more.
Come on. Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
That was our segment, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing.
Wow. Yeah.
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
I have a quick segment before we begin the main course. Another hors d'oeuvre, another quick hors d'oeuvre. Conspiracy query. Another conspiracy query. This is a segment where I say 3 conspiracy theories that I found online to Theo. One of them is fake. I made it up. He's got to guess which one is the fake one. All right, first one.
Here we go.
So the South is, I'm giving you a little bit of context. The South is known for its fatty foods, and some would say lethargic, relaxed people. Biscuits and gravy, sweet tea,
appreciate the implication.
And other fatty foods were used and are currently used by the U.S. to keep the South from rising again.
Wait,
a
conspiracy is that the U.S. is using fatty foods to keep the South from rising?
Yes, specifically the South.
Interesting.
because of the fatty food associated with that area.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting. I mean, if that's the case, I want them to use that strategy on me too, because I love that food.
The government is poisoning snow with chemicals.
Damn straight they are!
They're getting all the snow. And then, mind-controlled robo-sharks are being used as spies.
Yeah. That's something that people actually believe.
You think that's...
I think that
you
people...
believe...
Yeah.
You think that's a real one? Okay, so it's between...
I think that no one is questioning the fatty southern food. I think everyone's just okay with it.
Everyone's just okay
I think you made up the fatty southern food one. Because...
Is that your final answer?
So hold on. No, I gotta explore the other ones.
Okay.
So the fatty foods, because they're so dang good, who's gonna go around being like, this fried chicken? This is government fried chicken.
You know what people love, though, and they have conspiracy theories for?
Freedom.
Chemtrails. Everyone loves chemtrails. They really love them.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, there's conspiracies for everything. People
you see these buttery rolls? These were put here by the government.
I'm fat because... You think that people wouldn't say I'm fat because of the government? They would blame everything. People blame the genetics. They blame everything but their own...
willpower.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that was a true one. The next one was chemical snow?
Yes. The poisoning the snow.
I'm poisoning the snow. I think people... I don't know. Because
poisoning the snow.
I think a lot of conspiracy theorists are not in parts of the country where it snows.
Really? I associate... I don't know why, but I conspire...
Like log cabin deep in the woods?
Like, not specifically Midwest, but that kind of like...
I could see people freaking out about like snow landing on them and being like, oh my god!
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last one was what?
It was the robo-sharks being spies.
I feel like you made that one up because you have a goofy grin on your face. But at the same time, some people probably would believe that. Okay, I'm changing my answer.
Are you changing your answer?
Robo-Sharks is fake.
You think Robo-Sharks is fake?
I think Robo-Sharks is fake.
You're wrong.
No!
You had it right at first.
The
fatty foods.
Yeah, you made
that up. I was like, why isn't this a conspiracy theory? With the reasoning that I used before of people would blame everything, including the government before themselves.
That seems believable, but at the same time...
Most of these I try to make... I feel like the conspiracy theories I come up with are too in-depth. These other ones, I thought were going to be giveaways because they're short and concise.
The thing is, yours was actually probably the most believable if you thought about it a bit more, which makes me question
It's not a good conspiracy theory.
Right, it's not a good conspiracy. So I know for next time, if it's too believable, it's probably the one you made up.
But now I know this is going to be mind games between the two of us.
Oh no.
Let me give you the skinny on these. Okay, so the government is poisoning snow with chemicals because both of these are hilarious. I'll probably put the link to the article I found these two because I just literally Google weird conspiracy theories and then the first results. Georgia isn't good at snow. 2 inches fell in Atlanta last month, and amidst car crashes and television parodies, snow skepticism was born. Georgians bravely took to YouTube, determined to demonstrate that neither matches nor lighters nor blowtorches, a disproportionate number of Georgians seem to have blowtorches. It's in this article.
No, it's not disproportionate. They just own a lot of blowtorches, okay? Don't question it.
Could melt that strange white stuff that the government insisted was just frozen water. On film, the snow blackens, twists like plastic, and stubbornly refuses to melt. Although the entire web pages are dedicated to debunking chemical snow theory, the simplest way to deal with the snow skeptics is to put the stuff in a microwave or on a stove. Spoiler, it melts. The blackened snow was caused by soot from the lighter. Of course.
Yeah.
From the blowtorches, you fucking idiots.
Oh, it got black? Oh, that's yeah. Because
butane burns inefficiently and as snow turns into slush under a blowtorch, it only appears not to melt.
Wow.
Now
the Robo-Sharks.
Now the real.
That Robo-Sharks.
Was the appetizer of an appetizer. This is the main course of an appetizer. Mm-hmm. This is the meat of the clams.
You're clearly good at sophisticated dining because you said this is the main course of the appetizer. So, I believe everything you said.
What about second appetizer? Mind controls Robo-Sharks are being used as spies. When shark attacks off the coast of Egypt sent beach tourism plummeting in 2010, government officials rushed to provide explanations. Their best guess? remote-controlled Israeli sharks.
Oh my God.
Immediately following the attack, a prominent Egyptian governor said that the Israeli shark theory is not out of the question, but it needs time to confirm. Soon after, proof began to trickle in. What kind of proof? Egyptian divers reported sharks outfitted with GPS devices in the Red Sea, and it didn't take long for Mind Control's bionic shark spies to enter the canon of conspiracy theories.
You know what? If the Israelis have figured out mind controlling sharks, we're all fucked.
They won the sea.
They are ocean masters.
They are
ocean master.
It's gonna be like the end of Aquaman, just like
ocean master.
They're riding sharks into battle.
You know what? You win. I give up. You win.
You can't get into the sharks are just waiting, and they have like clubs and stuff, and they're like smacking it out there.
How many times do you have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah, come on.
I dare you. I'm hungry.
I'm hanging. Look at these teeth.
I'm not looking at you.
I just need frickin' laser beams.
Laser sharks.
Scientists later confirmed that the robotic shark gear was just GPS tracking hardware. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
Designed to help scientists study sharks in their natural habitats.
Yep.
In an anticlimactic turn of events, Egypt ultimately attributed the shark attacks to rampant sheep carcass dumping off the coast.
Yeah, maybe stop doing that.
By then, of course, it was far too late to calm the conspiracy theorists or dissuade Stephen Colbert from siding with the believers. And then it links to an article, and I don't want to read it.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
That's a pretty good conspiracy theory.
Why is there not another conspiracy theory about why the fuck are they dumping sheep carcasses into the fucking ocean?
Don't think too hard about
it. To Cthulhu? Like, are they
don't think about we don't talk about it.
The old gods. The shark gods.
Yep.
Sheep carcasses.
This is good content.
To the shark gods.
Good.
All right, so for now, we're going to have the main course of this episode, which is Movie Boys.
Welcome to Movie Boys segment.
We used to have a podcast called Movie Boys, and then we decided to expand it a little, we wanted to talk about more than movies.
Yep.
I felt like we kind of made a niche audience for ourselves of reviewing old movies. But we're going to do it this time. The way that this goes is we do a preliminary. Actually, let's do the whole explanation of why we do these movies.
Sure. Okay. So, I grew up not watching very many classic movies, and Will has seen a lot of classic movies. So, I have compounded a list of a lot of movies that I need to see. And one by one, we're going through them and get a little review and a little discussion out of them. So tonight we're going to be watching Mad Max,
The Road Warrior.
That's
technically Mad Max 2.
Mad Max 2.
But his first Mad Max, I don't think was released widely in the US.
Yes.
Like people mostly watch Mad Max 2. And Mad Max 1 is a weird movie because as I explained to Theo earlier, Max is just like a police officer and he just is wearing like a polo shirt and white jeans at one point. He's like, I'm going on a picnic with my family.
Wow.
And then they get killed by like Mad Max bikers. Like they're just like mutants. Then he's just like, I'm just in my nice car. Like, he's just hanging out and it's just like green pastures and stuff. Like it's a nice place. And then Road Warrior, they're like, oh wait, we got a little bit of a budget. Let's make this a little bit weirder. And and then they made one of the better action movies made. And the only really the only thing better is probably Mad Max Fury Road.
Which is, I have seen that one.
Yes.
Yes, I've seen Mad Max Fury Road.
So this
so I know a little bit more about this movie than I do some of the other movies on the list. Simply because I know the source material a little bit.
Yes. This will seem familiar, kind of.
Okay.
This may feel like an earlier version of.
Sure. Okay.
But it's still like I've watched it somewhat recently. But give us more of your first thoughts before we watch the movie.
I'm looking forward to it because Mad Max Fury Road is really good.
Yes.
Like it was awesome, and I want to see a little bit more about the roots of this franchise.
It's weird because I feel like there isn't a consistent like through line. I mean, Max is the through line, but he's like kind of just like a narrative device.
Sure.
So, like, even in Fury Road, he's not even the main character of Fury Road.
Sure, right,
really.
yeah.
In this, he's a little bit more of the main character. Like, he is your surrogate.
Okay.
But it's still, like, you're viewing this weird stuff. And he has more of a character. He's like, I mean, we're going to watch the movie, and we'll talk about this more after. But he is a little bit more of a character, and it's kind of soaking in the world a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of like world building and fun action.
Cool.
Any other thoughts before we get into it?
Some people told me to watch Thunderdome, Mad Max 3.
I haven't watched Thunderdome. I heard I got mixed reviews for it.
I don't know. Some people liked it, but Road Warrior seems like everybody pretty much universally thinks it's second only to Fury Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. It's just like and it's weird. We're probably going to have good chuckles.
That's me chuckling.
We're going to do just a slight intermission, and then we're going to come back. We're going to do a spoiler-free section, and then we'll do like our ending, and then we'll do spoilers.
If you care about spoilers for a movie that's 30 years old,
exactly.
You can turn out after that.
I hate in podcasts when you want to avoid spoilers
Fair
or
enough.
something, and it's in the middle of a podcast, and you're like, what do I skip to?
Yeah.
This is at the end. Like we'll tell you, okay, we're going to do spoilers.
All right, we'll be back in a flash after we've seen the movie.
After these
Time
messages.
Warp.
He came from the wasteland. His name was Mix.
He was we called the Road Warrior.
He was made about Persona S.
Is that me in the future?
You're
Mix. Mad Mix?
You're the made Mix.
The Road Warrior.
The Road Warrior. We're back.
We just watched the movie. We watched Mad Max Road Warrior.
Yes. Let's do general opinions first.
Okay, general opinions.
Did you like the movie?
Yeah, really fun movie. Fun action movie. Loved the practical stunts they did. Like
dope cars.
Dope costumes. Like the campiness ages really well, I think.
It's very goofy.
Like it's super like I know that at the time it probably was really serious, but it's so goofy.
No, I don't think it.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
well, I think the campiness
there's
ages
a character
super
named
nicely.
Lord Humongous.
That's fair.
Come on.
That's fair.
So, for anyone who hasn't seen The Road Warrior, the plot is actually pretty simple. It's Mad Max is kind of a dipshit.
Yeah. He's just kind of there. He just kind of exists.
The world is just basically like everyone has cars and yet that's the reason why everyone likes gas. It makes sense for Australia, I think, I presume it.
So
everyone has Australian accents.
Post-apocalyptic, and everything now revolves around gas as the main resource commodity that everyone fights over.
Yeah,
and everyone rolls around in these jacked up cars that are all tricked out to be so cool, and like they all have weapons on them, and they're all
crossbows, spikes.
Yeah, so that's all
tridents.
Yeah, so resources are super limited, but everyone fights over the gasoline for control.
Which there's one outpost that's actually getting gasoline.
Yeah, so there's actually two. There's one. There's the enemies who are producing gas, and then there's also the friendly camp that is also producing gas. Well, that's the whole plot point.
The enemies don't have gas.
No, the enemies are producing gas. They're producing
gas.
Am I wrong?
No, that's the reason they want the camp.
Oh, I see. Okay,
because they want all the gas, and
gotcha.
So all the good. Max is basically just like a third party, and he's just like, I just want the gas.
Yeah.
I don't care about you.
I just want to leave.
And he does multiple times through he's just like, I'm out. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't do like the hero's journey, like the stereotypical hero's journey. Yeah, it's Max and he's like, I'm here for the gas. Let me just get this gas. I'll help you guys. And then
a deal's a deal.
A deal's a deal. And then there's a big chase sequence. We won't get into spoilers, of course, in this part.
Right. But that's the general plot is basically it's him interacting with this group of people that he has a deal with initially, and then he ends up helping them out further.
Mm-hmm. It's very simple. Good
good
guys, bad guys.
It's a plot just so that there can be cool car action sequences. Yes. That's why this exists.
And it's
glorious.
Let's get into the next part. The next mini segment is what do we like about this? The fucking cars.
The cars are so good.
The cars are so good. They're so well designed.
Yes.
Everyone's costumes are so goofy.
Yeah, but also awesome.
Yes. Lord Humongous looks like Jason Voorhees if he got fucking ripped.
And also if he was a leather daddy.
Oh. A leather daddy.
His main henchman has assless chaps, which is great.
I don't know the character's name, but we just call him like
Raven. The Raven.
Yeah, the Raven.
Because he has this like red mohawk and he has really wide eyes.
And he has these like feathers, black feathers.
Yeah.
And he, in the beginning, has just, he rides on the motorcycle with what we call the twink, which is just like, we don't know if he's actually, but it's just a younger, thin man with long blonde hair who I think is also wearing assless chaps.
Yep.
And is in like a leather thing. And we're like, well, let's do general good things. Cars are great. Costumes are great.
Yeah.
The world, I think they do a really good job.
I mean, it's fine. It's nondescript. It's just Australian outback. Like, it's not like anything crazy.
No.
Like, if you compare it to like the newer movie where like they actually have like, you know, set pieces, it's like, okay, the two locations in this movie were two like pretty unimpressive camps.
No, yeah.
Like,
it's all in the desert.
This felt like the conflict felt super minor. Like, it felt like,
it's neat. Like,
yeah.
But it's their entire world. Like,
right.
These people are fighting for their lives for and I think that's what a lot of like post-apocalypse things later are based on.
Yeah.
Like, because Road Warrior is it's like a cult classic, but I feel like it's also kind of, they wouldn't have Mad Max Fury Road if not for Road Warrior.
Right.
Which Road Warrior, I think we said this is earlier Road Warrior.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously like they drew a lot of, I don't know, like world inspiration and stuff like that for the later movie.
Mm. I like the character of Max. I think Max is an interesting, because he's not clear-cut good. Like, a normal protagonist would be like, these people might need my help, and like maybe be selfish in the beginning, but like kind of grow. And he has a more gradual progression where he's still like selfish throughout.
Well, yeah, and then I guess we'll go into the spoilers later about
later.
So.
What did you not like about the movie?
What did I not like about the movie? I don't know. I mean, I think for what I don't have any like
big complaints.
I don't think it was a mind-blowing movie, but like but for what it was, I think it was really good.
I think for kids in the 80s, if you like saw this movie, you'd be like, "Oh my god." Cuz it's a good movie when you're in 2019.
Right.
So, imagine being back then and being like, they just fucking flip some cars. Like it blew up. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And even now it's like
it's really
practical effects, all that it's all neat.
I don't have anything particularly negative to say about it, especially because we were just like goofing throughout it. Like, because so much of it is so campy that you can just like, you know, poke fun at it.
Everyone's haircuts were the worst.
Oh, the absolute
ugliest
worst.
People. They literally, they went to the local dollar store probably and were like, we need people. Not even extras. They're like maybe 50 people total in the movie.
Yeah. Just gather them up.
We'll give them some... Just get them some leather.
Just put on some leather and some eyeliner, and you'll be
pads.
good.
Get some. Go to local hockey.
Get some local hockey pads. You'll be set.
I like the kind of jankiness, but it also has like enough production values. Like flip cars. And
exactly. The explosions and the flipping cars and like the chase sequences and stuff all feel like really actually very good.
Mm.
Yeah,
it's very. I think it's an iconic movie for good reason. Like
sure.
If you like Fury Road, I would say, I think Fury Road is still like the benchmark, but that's because it was made recently.
But like also
with
Fury Road,
knowledge.
So I almost like this one is so like you can make fun of it way more than Fury Road. Like Fury Road isn't a funny campy movie.
It isn't. Yeah,
Fury Road is very serious and like it's amazingly shot and it's beautiful and it's wonderful and everything. But this is fun because it's much smaller scale. And you can poke fun at it. Like, it's from the 80s. Like, it's
Lord
so 80s.
Humongous trying with his henchmen with assless chaps.
Yeah. It's making fun of itself.
Gasoline. Like, it's goofy as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that kind of like wraps it up.
Yeah.
Like, we recommend this movie.
Definitely.
It's like a fun movie if you just like have a few beers with friends. It's a great
It's also
Saturday.
not long. It's like an hour and a half. It's like, it's super,
It's
really
so straight
watchable.
to the point and just like pure action, pure awesomeness.
Yeah, it's fun.
If you haven't seen this movie, go see it.
Go see it.
So that's our recommendation. We're going to do our outro, but afterwards we're going to do our spoiler section. So just be warned. So thank you for listening up to this point in Segment City.
Yeah, thanks for listening to everything but the spoilers.
But you will listen to that if you're good. If you like good movies, if you like goofs, because we're gonna goof a lot about this movie. Thank you also to Rachel Robinson for providing our theme music. Mm-hmm. Check out her podcast, Create Loud. Remember to, if you have any questions or any segments that you want to suggest, any movies you might want added to the list. I don't think we have the list posted anywhere.
We didn't post it, but if you think of anything, feel free to send in, and maybe it's already on the list, or
we have like RoboCop, Predator,
anything that's iconic and
Aliens.
I don't know, pre what 1990.
I feel like a lot of them are 80s
mostly. I think like up to like 90. Yeah, like pretty much is roughly the cutoff. But any iconic movies you want us to watch,
any good movies
and goof about,
send an email to segmentcitypodcast@gmail.com, and also hit up our Twitter I think it's just Segment City.
You say "I think" every time. One of these times you got to be confident about it.
I don't
know.
We don't have any tweets. Dating this. We don't have any tweets. We record a lot of
just tweet at us. Just follow us. Do something at us.
We post a lot of supplemental content. Any like links to conspiracy theories or any of the stuff that we have. So check that out. And
thanks so much. We're gonna now move into the spoiler section.
All right.
So tune out if you don't want to hear it.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. That kid had the fucking worst haircut of all time. Holy shit.
The
feral kid. And the fact that he was the narrator the whole time. Don't get me started. At the end, okay. So at the end when he was like, I grew up and eventually took over as leader. And I was the feral kid. Well, your literal name in the cast, in the credits, is Feral Kid.
Yeah.
Did you go to a prep school after?
I feel like they didn't name like 90% of these characters. We had to name Raven.
We don't know if he had a name. There's Lord Humongous.
There's Lord Humongous, the twink who dies in the most spectacular way by being killed by the feral kid who throws his fucking boomerang.
And a boomerang at his head.
Stabs into his head. And the Raven's just like, oh my god.
And then he runs up and he's like, hold me back.
And there's literally a scene later where they chain him to the front of the car and he's like, Lord Humongous is like, you just fucking stop. I need to like keep you. And then he unchains him. He's like, go get him. And then he jumps. He's like, oh. He jumps on the fucking tanker.
Can we talk about how Max is not a good driver?
He crashes like...
He crashed back-to-back car. He crashed twice in 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in world time, that was like twice in like maybe like 6 hours.
I don't mean to poke holes in a classic movie.
Yeah.
But most of the characters are fucking morons because they are surrounded by marauders and they keep sending cars out.
Single cars
without
and then, like,
weapons.
Yeah. The movie starts off by Max looking from an overhang, like watching from a cliff top, and seeing one car zoom into the middle of an enemy camp and get absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, they have cars. Like,
yeah. What do you expect to happen? The enemy camp is 2 miles away from your main camp. What do you expect?
And then he uses one of the survivors to get into the camp, and he's like, I'm in a deal with this, and
guy.
Then he's like, it died with him because the guy dies on the table, and he's like, fuck, what am I going to do now? And then a woman's wailing over him like, oh no, we didn't expect this.
Like, you sent him out.
You sent him into like literally death zone. What did you expect?
Yeah, what did you expect to happen?
I think we're going to be good. We only have flamethrowers and a few bows.
Yeah, we're good.
They also said that they have guns. They don't.
The only gun in the entire movie was Max's gun.
No, Lord Humongous's gun.
Oh, that's right. He had the chromed out Magnum. Yeah, he had a cool scoped Magnum.
That's another.
That was dope as heck. Although he wasted like 3 bullets doing nothing.
Yeah, but
he shot one really good shot.
Yeah. At the end, he has bad shots, but like he has that one.
Also, Lord Humongous is totally a meme. Like,
oh my god, he
just stands on a hilltop and makes a monologue, which even in the movie volume audio, like you couldn't hear. You couldn't understand it.
What did you expect him to sound like?
I don't know. I guess what he sounded like, but he was just like,
really? Because he's weirdly like, I want to spare you all, and we can come to a because I imagine be like, I hate you.
Yeah, he's not like insane. He's trying to be like, no more violence is needed.
Yeah, he's like, but also they don't believe him for good reason.
For good reason. Because he's the head of a bandit camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his head is shaved. He looks like a mutant, like with the mask on.
Yeah.
He's jacked as fuck.
Yeah, he was huge. But then he got lit up, so.
He got a
Molotov dropped on his head.
He got Molotoved,
and then he smashed into the front.
He nitroed into the fucking
he did that to himself.
Into the Raven.
And took them both out.
It was great.
Wow, that was
it's so good.
So good.
The big like reveal at the end of the movie, because Max he has the tanker. Max brings the person back to the camp, says, I want oil, or gasoline. And they say, okay, you can bring us back a thing that can haul all this gasoline.
Basically a big rig.
And then he walks away, he brings it, and then they have a big plan, but he's like, I don't want to be a part of that. He gets his car, he immediately fucking crashes it.
No, he has his car back for a total of 5 minutes.
He gets literally a mile away. They can see his smoke from his exploded car.
He manages to like crawl halfway back until he gets picked up.
He gets picked up by one of our better characters. But
okay, we also have to talk about him.
We do.
Yeah.
But so he gets blown up, and then he immediately is like, I'll drive the big rig. And they're like, the character's like, the fuck? Sure, I guess. And then it turns out that there's the big chase sequence, which is the best part of the movie. It's so good.
It's really good. I'm glad it went on for so long, too. Like, they did a really good job. But each time, like, they kept taking out enemy cars, and then they'd zoom out, and there would be tons of enemy cars still. I was like, how many of these dudes are there?
There's, like, so many motorcycles, so many police cars.
Yeah.
And then they have, like, 3 people guarding it.
And the 2 people on top of it immediately die.
Yeah,
immediately die.
Warrior woman, useless.
Useless.
Everyone was useless except for Max and fucking Feral
and the Feral Kid actually kind of did work.
He had a great KD.
Yeah, he had a pretty good KD. Yeah, he actually like boomeranged someone.
Yeah, and then so they crashed the big rig, and then it's full of sand, and they're like, they fucking betrayed him. They're supposed to be the good guys, and they fucking betrayed Max, but then again, they don't trust him for good reason. But I like that kind of skepticism in the post-apocalypse. I think that's really neat.
Yeah. So wait, we got to talk about.
We skipped over
Helicopterman. I don't know what his name is. We didn't have a name for him.
Helicopterman is wonderful. I'm going to reveal a thing to you that will make you love him even more. I think he's in the first movie as well. Ooh. He's a different character.
Oh,
the same exact actor. They didn't know enough actors.
I love that they were like, we don't know enough dudes. We don't know enough people, but we know we like you.
He's a good dude. And so the way they introduce him is Max is he finds a gyrocopter, which is like a single person helicopter. And there's a snake on it. And he just snatches the snake.
Max just grabs the snake. And then the dude pops out of the sand next to the gyrocopter and goes, never seen someone grab the snake before. I was talking with Will about this. This is akin to locking up your bike and then disguising yourself as like a lamppost so that if someone tries to steal your bike, you pop out and are like, never seen someone break the lock before. Like, what?
But a lock that will... What's like a snake lock?
A snake lock. I'm putting a snake on your bike.
And then later in the movie, they're having a chase, and he throws his snake down.
And the best part is, when he does that, he actually, like, legitimately, like, throws the snake.
He hucks it.
He doesn't just drop it. He is above the guy, but he just chucks it. And then
the guy he hucks it on has the appropriate reaction where he goes,
and then crashes.
He shoots the driver by accident, and then they flip, and then it's like, yes.
I mean, that's a pretty good strat. I mean, what would you do if a snake dropped on you?
His whole thing is he wants to get with the palm woman who looks like she has
a palm tree on her head.
Yeah, and she looks like she's in an exercise video.
Yeah.
And that's his whole... And then he becomes the leader at the end.
Yeah, I don't know how he was the most disjointed character. I don't know how...
Oh, yeah, he was... I mean, he just was out for himself. I mean... That's every character.
He managed to become the leader because he didn't fucking crash. Like,
because everyone else is morons.
Everyone else is idiots.
They have, like, a general guy who looks like he's just, like, an Alzheimer's patient. Like, he's just an idiot. Every character is just ugly and dumb. And it's wonderful. Like, all the good guys are just like, everyone, there's no, like, beautiful Hollywood people. The most beautiful person is
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, and he has a bad haircut.
It's like, it looks like he's like kind of grimy. Himself. Yeah, he's super grimy in that movie.
So it's like, kind of real, like, I like that about
it's just like showing those, like, regular people that were, like, put into the apocalypse.
It's not like Chris Pratt wandering around like, oh no, the apocalypse. Right. It's like, no, people are fucking eating dog food.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
Also, Helicopterman, when he is eating the dog food, he just pulls out a wooden spoon from his coat. He's been carrying around a wooden spoon.
He's dressed like a clown.
He is just like a clown. He has pink shoes.
He has pink shoes. He has yellow tight pants. He has a big flower.
He has like a bomber jacket, or his bomber hat.
And then he has like a suit top. It's so good.
It's so good.
Who's your favorite character? There's some good.
There's some good characters.
There's Max. I think Max. I don't think he's my favorite character.
I think Lord Humongous is maybe my favorite character.
Really?
I do he's love so him. Ridiculous.
He is.
He's jacked as heck, and then the fact that he kills himself by nitroing straight into the fuel tanker is amazing.
What's his plan?
What was he thinking? He was rational until that point.
I think. It's not a 3-way tie. I gotta decide between 3 characters.
Okay.
There's Lord Humongous, who I love just because I love how he's just like, listen, we can work this out. Like, he's just, like,
also the fact that he had huge monologues and like, no one was listening to him.
There's a montage of him doing monologues and nobody's listening to him. And it's so great. Helicopter Man, just because he hucks snakes. And we kept on like, there's a point where after Max has crashed, he comes down with the helicopter to save him, and we're just like, grab onto my snake. Grab on to the snake. Come on. Get on. So, or Feral Kid, because he had...
Kid. Also, Raven is pretty good.
Raven's good. The assless chap, like his...
The assless chaps.
The assless
They kept showing shots where they were like, get that ass in there.
That's full ass.
Yeah, they showed it, his full ass maybe a half dozen times.
If he had more dialogue, I did like he was a wild dog.
Yeah.
But Feral Kid did throw his fucking blade thing.
I hated Feral Kid.
Killed Twink. He cut off the figure of the nerd guy.
Nerd guy! I forgot about Nerd guy.
Nerd, every gang has a nerd with big glasses and a big, like, beaver hat.
Oh no, the nerd guy. And he tried to catch the boomerang and it cut his fingers off.
And it cuts his fingers off and he goes, and everyone starts laughing at him and he's like, he's laughing along cause like a nerd would. Jesus. Like a bullied nerd. But Feral Kid, he did that and then he backflipped into a hole. And I kind of love that.
Yeah. And he did make a coyote noise to distract Raven.
He did. I'm going to say helicopter. Ooh, it's either helicopter or Lord Humongous.
Yeah, Lord Humongous is pretty good. But helicopter guy is also pretty good.
I think those are the two best characters. Yeah. I think that's in agreement.
Yeah. Oh, this is a fun movie.
It's a fun movie. Yeah. Once again, it's a fun night. The plot is like pretty basic.
But
it all works together. Like it
works. It's just fun.
It creates this atmosphere that's both fun and depressing.
I liked it more than I thought I would, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't think I would like it. I thought I would come into this and be like, yeah, it's not really worth watching because Fury Road exists. Mm-hmm. But it's not true. I think that they're both worth watching.
Yeah.
Like, I think they both stand.
It used to be the high point. Right. And then Fury Road just like edged it out.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
I can see that. No, I can totally see that.
This is still like the best.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the real ending to Segment City.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to our spoiler section. I hope you enjoyed it.
I hope you if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it.
Go watch it, and then you can
fully appreciate. You can laugh along.
Yeah, then you can appreciate all these stupid little jokes we're making about it.
Oh my god, Feral Kid,
Snake Man.
Anyway, I hope you have a good time in that Segment City wasteland.
It's been a great time, eh?
It's been a great time.
Having a good time, eh?
Hey, get into your car, get your favorite snake, bring your
dog food. Oh no, the dog.
We're not going to end on the dog.
Get your favorite snake.
Get your favorite snake.
Your dog food. Get your Feral Kid. And ride.
Pick him up like a football and ride out of here. Out of Segment City. Goodbye. 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 Segment City.